Hey guys, it's your girl Leslie, and welcome to my channel. So hey guys, it's been a little bit. Well, actually, no, it hasn't been a little bit. Anyway, I was gonna read a Carnage X Reader because I haven't read that for the past a couple videos, but guess what? So, y'all know the creator. Y'all know, right? The creator that made this story right here that we are currently reading, and that I said that they discontinued it. Well, they posted a new update, not on the story, but basically about their life and whatnot, and they said that they might start a new story. I can't read quote unquote because I can't. I don't have anything else to read off from, but what I can say is they're going to start a new story of some sort that they're doing alright, and that they are still really most likely not going to continue the one shot. Which, I don't mind. Good enough for me, good enough for you guys, huh? But yeah, those are the three things that I basically got from it, and I'm happy they did update, and I'm happy that they are back. I don't know if, because I never really, because I thought, they weren't going to come back and whatnot, because they haven't updated, in 2 years, till, now, which is, oh, okay. I know they're alive, and they're well. I don't know. I don't know if I should tell them that I'm reading their story on my YouTube channel. Should I tell them, guys? Should I? I have no clue. Let me know in the comments if I should, because I'm kind of nervous, to be honest, because, that's the author hasn't written the story, has to continue the story, for about at least 2 to 3 years. He finally came back, making a new story. Maybe it's a possibility. So, I don't know. And if you're wondering what the new story is about, I have no clue. But I'll put it to the side for now. Okay. Anyways, let's get straight into this. I'm taking way too long. Hey y'all, so we getting into this. So this is Yandere Bully Printer, ex-abused neutral reader. Now I know what's real and what is fake. Yeah, let's get into it. Make sure you keep that in mind, because yeah, they're I believe they're for more different ones, or there might be a some part to this. I have no clue, but let's quickly get into this because we are so into this time limit. Oh. Okay. Anyway, your point of view: get into your room and don't step your foot outside, you little shit. I ran to my room with a bruised eye and a cut on my cheek, and maybe a few bruises on my body. Mom hated me, and when Dad wasn't here, she'd beat me up and call me awful things. Dad loved me with all his soul, and I did too. I told Dad 1,000 times, and it would only lead to Mom and Dad fighting all the time. It was a huge problem in my life. My mom was destroying my life. I couldn't take it anymore. I locked my room and cried, without even bothering to heal my wounds. I just wanted Dad. It was 2:12 a.m., and I could hear my door open a little. I knew it was my dad. He would always come at night when Mom was asleep. He sat next to me and I gave him a bear hug. He embraced me in a warm hug and let me cry on his chest. After some time, he would start healing my wounds, telling me how much he cared for me. Please, Dad, let's get out of here. Away from Mom. He looked sadly on the floor. Mom wasn't always like that. It's just stress. I knew he was lying. She never liked me since I was a small baby, but he was trying his best to make me feel positive. But if that's what you want, I just need to get more money, and I promise you that we will leave, okay? Tears of joy ran down my cheeks and my heart filled with hope and happiness. A smile appeared on my face as I hugged him. Thank you, Dad. I love you. I love you too, Mayan. Now, you should better get some rest. Tomorrow's your first day of school. Oh my god. Now, you should better get some rest. Tomorrow's your first day at school. But, Dad, don't worry. I took care of your wounds. You'll just have to go to school with the bandages. And here's an eye patch for your eye. He handed me an eye patch. I smiled as he left the room. Good night. Okay. Before we continue on, if any dad did this, I would personally hit them in the face. Because number one, if your lover puts a finger on your child with no reason and does it every time you leave, you are then obliged to either attack that lady or get out of that house as soon as possible and keep your child safe. Take them with you. Because this right here is not acceptable. I do not take this as, oh, I love you, I love you and I care. If you really did care about your daughter, you would take immediate action. I don't care if you're poor, you would take immediate action. You would not wait. You would take so fast an action, when you blink, she's out of the house. Because I'm pretty sure she ain't going to be paying no bills if she stays at home all day. This is not acceptable, and I do not accept this. This is not how it works. If your dad really loved you, he would take immediate action to protect his child. I will not accept this. No. He does not care enough if he does not take immediate action. Nope. Thank goodness. I woke up earlier in the morning. Mom was still asleep. Thank God. I started my morning routine and ate a quick breakfast. I put new bandages on my body and wore my eye patch. I made sure that everything was prepared before chilling to pass time. When it was finally time to leave, I wore my shoes, took my bag with me, and quickly left the house. I was at school. It had been some time and they gave us our schedules. Luckily, since this was the beginning of the new year of school, the first week would only last for 3 hours and we would not have to do so much work. First period, we had art class. Nice. I would get to start the new day peacefully and nice. At the art class, our teacher introduced themselves in the classroom and told us to draw the person next to us. I looked at the person next to me, and it was a handsome boy with black, messy hair and blue eyes. He gave a small smile. Hi, I'm Helen. I'm YN. Now, everyone begin, the teacher told us as we started our work. At the beginning, it was quiet between him and I, but he suddenly spoke. Do you like art? Well, no do, Sherlock. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm not good at it though, but I do like it. That's cool. Many minutes passed and the teacher told us to show each other our works. Mine wasn't beautiful, but it wasn't bad. My drawing just made him look more cute than handsome. He smiled. That's very good. I blushed a bit as he showed his. My eyes widened and I gasped. It was a picture of me smiling cutely with a small blush. It was very beautifully detailed. The hair, the eye color, the shades, even the bandages. That's so amazing. You're an artist. It was now his turn to blush. Thanks, YN. But by the way, do you want to hang out with me after school? His sudden question confused me a tiny bit, but I smiled. Sure. School had finished and it was fun. We were at the same classes with Helen, and I caught him staring at me sometimes. I would smile and give him a wave, but he would blush and looked what? And looked before quickly looking away. We became friends, and I was waiting for him. Hey, Ryan. Sorry for the late. He came panting and running, with a with the painting book and some pencils on his hands. I smiled. That's fine. Where do you want to go? Let's go to the park. It's a nice day today, so why not? Sure, he agreed. We were sitting on a bench. He showed me many of his drawings. They were amazing. He was an artist. Out of boredom and silliness, we were playing rock, paper, scissors, and the one who lost would have to answer each other's questions. I learned that he loved the color red and many other things, while he learned a lot about me. As we were playing, I made a rock with my hand while he did a paper. We grinned. All right, it's my turn to ask you. I grinned. Go on. So, is there someone hurting you? That made me frozen and stiff. I'm sorry if it's personal, but I need to know. Who is abusing you? I stared on the floor, my smile fading. My mother. He stared at me. My mother hated me since I was born. She never was proud of me. I never was beautiful or smart enough for her. I was never the baby she wished. I felt tears blur in my eyes. I gripped my fist and felt my body shake. She never loved me. She never showed me kindness or anything a mother would do for her child. She hurt me. I was cut off by him pulling my small form onto his chest with his strong arms. I couldn't help but cry and grip onto him tightly. I kept crying as he patted my back. I could feel his warm breath on my shoulder. It felt nice to have a friend, a shoulder to cry on. A few minutes later, when I calmed down, I pulled away and looked away, cleaning my face with my hands. Thank you. Don't mention it. That's what friends are for, right? I felt him smile, and I smiled back. Why aren't you looking at me? Am I too ugly for you? He joked, making me laugh a bit. No, I look like a mess. Aw, come on, show me that beautiful face of yours. I blushed but shook my head stubbornly. He then grabbed my cheeks and forced my head to face him. He chuckled. You're cute, actually. I blushed and tried to pull away. Shut up! The color red suits you. He let go of my face, as I couldn't help but smile a bit. He put his hand on my shoulder. Just so you know, no matter what happens, you can always count on me. I'll always be there for you. He smiled, but is your dad abusing you too? I sniffed and smiled. No. He loves me just like I do. He makes me feel safe when he's around. Safe. By the way, he promised me that he would take me far, far away from my mother, so we can live happily without her. I smiled, not noticing his eyes widen and his heart feeling, bad. I won't allow that. I looked at him in confusion. What do you mean? Oh, nothing. I won't allow anyone to make you feel bad. He gave a toothy grin. I smiled. I think you should better get home. I don't want to get you in trouble. Oh, wait. I don't want to get in trouble, I said sadly. But, Wyan, are you sure you want to go back there? I mean, you can come with me. You'll be safe with me. Thank you, Helen, but it's alright. Really. He sighed sadly. Alright, if you say so. He kept me company on the way home, and we said goodbye to each other. I unlocked the door just to freeze. Wyan, who was that boy? The next morning, my whole body felt like dying. A few new bruises caused pain, and that felt as if my bones were going to break, and my cuts were now becoming purple and had dry blood. I felt like crying, but I couldn't. At school, and if I cried, my mom would wake up, and it took me so long to heal my wounds, and Dad didn't return home from work because he was so busy. I didn't eat my breakfast, and I wore long-sleeved clothes with a purple turtleneck and long pants to hide my bandaged body, and my eye patch was covered. I went to school earlier than usual, hoping to find a smiling Helen, the one who could pull me. What? Oh, right. The one who could pull me into his strong arms and ease my pain. But instead, Helen was nowhere to be found. It was the end of the day at school, and Helen was nowhere to be found. He didn't come to school, which made things super depressing for me. I was alone and hurt. But the worst part was all of those boys who were flirting with me the whole time. Luckily, they didn't try to do anything to me, but just their words disgusted me. I was trying my best to avoid them, but they would eventually find me. Aw, come on, cutie. Don't be shy. We can have some fun after school. That's a shame. You're too beautiful to be covered. I'll be gentle with you, but I can become more aggressive if you want me to. Wink, wink. And many more disturbing things were said to me, but I don't want to spend my previous time on talking about their bullshit. Period. That was until the end of the school. I was preparing my things to leave. I was a bit more late than the others, so I was the only one at school. When I stepped my foot outside the building, I saw him, Helen. But no, not the smiling one, waiting for me. Not the happy one. I always found him as a popular, attractive, happy guy. But that was a lie. He was the victim of the bullies. They were hitting him and throwing him around. They were hurting him the same way my mom did to me, the bruises and blood on his body. I felt tears at the terrible sight. I couldn't take it anymore. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry to laugh, but this is so much respiration. I'm dying here. I'm trying to pronounce this all correctly. I'm sorry, y'all. Stop it! Sorry, I can't yell too much. Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I yelled with all my will. They looked at me in shock. Helen looked at me with wide eyes. Guilt, sadness, and many other emotions were written on his face. Stop hurting him! I cried in front of all of them. I didn't even realize the one who sneaked up behind me and grabbed me by my waist and covered my mouth. YN! Helen yelled and tried to reach his hand to me, only to get kicked in the head. The one who grabbed me and dragged me somewhere, but a bit further than that scene. He pushed me up against the wall. I whimpered and felt my knees shake. His face was very close to my face. Shh, now. Don't be scared, little kitten. I ain't gonna hurt you. I just want to talk to you. I hated being weak. I hated seeing my friend in pain. I hate being hated. I hate being the girl that everyone would flirt at. You're so pretty, but you just have to believe it. So you cover yourself too much for your own good. Say, have you kissed anyone before? I didn't respond. I just stared at him in fear. Answer me, he growled, making me jump, and I quickly shook my head. He smiled. Good, because now I'll show you what a real kiss feels like. I tried to move away, but he pushed himself onto me, locking my lips with his. He pushed his tongue in and explored my mouth. I tried to yell and scream, but what came out was muffled whimpers. He suddenly pulled away and I screamed as he fell onto the ground. My tearing eyes widened as I found a beaten-up Helen, covered in blood and an insane look in his eyes. Lion, run, he said in a low, dark voice. Without any thinking, I started running away, crying loudly, not even caring if people saw me. I ran inside the house, closed the door, and fell onto the floor and sobbed as much as I could. I knew Mom would come and beat me up again, but I didn't care. I couldn't care. It felt like hours since I got tired and stopped. My thoughts were on where was Mom and what happened to Helen. But most importantly, what happened to Helen? Was he okay? What happened? Did they let him go? That's when I smelled something quite awful. It was coming from Mom's room. I managed to get in with shaky knees and I walked into the room. The door was half open and I shakily grabbed the knob. Mom? I don't know why you call her Mom. I'd call her Miss Karen. There was no response. I slowly opened the door only to gasp. Mom was on the bed, laying dead. Her chest cut open and all her guts were outside. The same with her eyeballs. In the wall, there was my name written with blood. I gasped at the sight and took steps behind. Why was this happening to me? What did I ever done to deserve this? Why couldn't I just take a small break? Why'd my life have to hate me so much to deserve this? My head was spinning and my heart was racing. I felt like I was going to faint within seconds. That's when I felt a cloth cover my mouth and nose and a strong arm wrap around me. I tried to break free, tears running down my cheeks. Shh. It's alright. Relax, Wyan. I'm here, and I'll take care of you. Just close your eyes. You had a rough day. I heard a dark, yet gentle and familiar voice behind me. There was no point in fighting back anyways. Plus, he was right. I just had to close my eyes and relax after this awful day. I didn't have the courage to care what he was gonna do to me. I gave up and closed my eyes as I smelled the beautiful smell of the clothes, which made me want to smell it more and more. It made me dizzy, but it helped me calm down. I like this feeling. I wish I could feel this forever. That's a good girl. Oh my goodness, this must be fucking... Yes, it is fucking long. Jesus. Just one story. Oh my god. Anyways, continuing. I slowly woke up. I couldn't remember anything, but my body was relaxed and calm, so I couldn't feel pain or worry. Slowly, my thoughts came back and I remembered what happened. I tried to move, but realized that I was tied up in a bed. My legs were tied together and my hands were above my head. I looked at my body to realize that I was wearing some gray shorts and a white t-shirt that allowed everyone to see my bandaged body. But what I found disturbing was that the blood on my body, it wasn't full of blood, luckily, but it had some blood stains on my thighs, neck, chest, and arms. That's when I heard the sound of pencils and I turned to see a man sitting on a chair close to me with a mask over on a silver face. He was drawing something and he was covered in blood. He turned and looked at me. My eyes widened. You're awake. I'm sorry that I had to tie you up. I was just afraid you'd run away out of fear. But don't worry. You're safe with me. I looked at him in fear. There's no need to feel scared. You're safe here. No one can hurt you. What happened? I asked shakily. He slowly got up, placed his hands on the bed, and leaned closer. You shut up, Uncle. Your mother got what she deserved. He killed her? Aren't you happy, Wyan? After all the pain she caused you? She got what she deserved. I took revenge for you. Where's Dad? Don't worry. He's in jail. The police thought he committed the crime, and they thought he was chasing after you. But he'll be fine. Don't worry about it. My eyes widened at his words. I was glad he was alive, but sad that he had to give of the jail if something he didn't do. Who are you? He stood in silence before slowly taking off his mask. I gasped. It was Helen. He was smiling. Not a happy smile. An insane, obsessive smile, with some eyes full of adoring gentleness. You were so scared and stressed back then. I couldn't handle seeing you like that. You didn't deserve it, he growled to himself. So I bring you here, far away from danger. Luckily, I got rid of your mother, he said, smiling happily. I just listened to him. I did the same thing to those boys back then. I gave a slow, painful death to him. How dare he steal your first kiss? He yelled to himself in rage. He took some deep breaths before smiling and slowly caressing my cheek with his gloved hand. His touch was warm and gentle, but at the same time bloody, and I didn't want to be touched. Lion, I love you. I care about you. I'm just doing what's best for you. He slowly leaned in. My whole form was shaking and my eyes were wide open. I closed them shut and bit my lips. It's all right. It won't hurt. Relax. His voice helped me relax somehow. From the moment I opened them, his lips were touching mine gently. I could feel his saliva on my mouth. It was a nice feeling. I was kind of scared. It was also sudden. He pulled away with love in his eyes. You are a masterpiece. So beautiful to draw. So tasty to kiss. But most of all, too dangerous, too innocent for this world. He chuckled. You're so cute, he giggled at my scared and shocked face. Oh, don't worry. I'll get you out of those ropes and help you get used to our new home. I just have to finish my drawing first, he said cheerfully before sitting back on the chair and continued drawing me. I just looked away, feeling many things. But what was I feeling? Was it fear? Confusion? Embarrassment? Love? You have a beautiful body, YN. He gave a wonderful smile, and it made me blush. His voice was so loving and gentle. He didn't even sound like a pervert. He kept drawing me for a while. He looked at me and smiled after stopping the drawing. I wasn't sure if he had finished the drawing. The color red suits you. Oh my goodness, I did not expect this to be so darn long. Oh my gosh darn goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Oh my god. Let's get straight back to me. Oh my god. I don't think I'm able to finish the other bloody painters that we have, because we have about, let me look down here real quick. Too many damn spoilers. We got one right here. Then scrolling down, we got, I know there's another one. I literally saw it. I saw it with my two gigantic eyeballs. See, I knew it. There was another one here. Y'all following me, right? Okay. And then, yeah, now that we cut this one out, there's two more to read, so I might separate those a little bit. Oh gosh, wish me the best luck of reading those two. But anyways, back to me. Hey y'all, so that was an insanely long story. It was interesting. Of course there's gonna be warnings. Duh. But overall, kind of got confused with the reading a little bit, but I managed to get through it. Honestly, it was kind of weird, not gonna lie. But I hope you guys don't like it. Yeah, I don't really have much to say, and I can give this certain story. Probably still my favorite story would be the Tiki Toby one. That's personally still like the part 1 and the part 2 one. I like that story. I personally love it. Why? Because it had so much nice details, cutesy little things. Probably that one was the best one. That is still personally my favorite. And then the Smile Dog, that was... I already read that to you guys, so y'all should be alright with that. some of these stories, different stories might be with the same character, just maybe in a different aspect. So, I already officially finished the proxies. I've already most officially finished some other things, but some characters will be on repeat. So, probably the end of this chapter, we're probably going to repeat some characters. Just letting you guys know. And yeah, of course, the story will be linked in the description. Next, we'll probably be reading something else. Also, recently, if you guys want to check out some more stories that I might read in the future, follow me on my Wattpad account. I don't post much there, and I just have to read. You know, don't read my old stories. Those are bad ones. Those are really bad. Okay, but I basically made a new I basically like made a new list showing what most of the stories, well, practically all the stories I read that I feel like deserve more love and attention and that are really good. And I promise you they are good, no cap. They're really good. Some of them I think are incomplete, but they still are good and I like them. So I made a whole list and there's like about 20 stories there that y'all can read, like from Black Butler to BHMA to Maleficent to monsters to other things and fantasy. Whatever fits y'all area's boat. I will be adding more stories, but if you guys want to read that list and whatnot, and if you want to check out some stories that I might read in the future, that is the list to go to. And yeah, those might be some good stories you guys might want to read in Wattpad, because it's hard to find good stories sometimes. But yeah, anyways, but for now, and anyways, I got to go. Bye and peace for now, guys.